Hello and welcome to our seated exercise session based on a day out in London. These are all exercises that can be done sitting down. You just need some comfortable clothes and a little bit of space. There will be some standing exercises later in the session, but they will all be showing an alternative seated version that you can do if you prefer to stay seated. So if you're ready, I'll be playing the piano in my house, and Rosa and Louisa will be leading some wonderful exercises based on a day in London from their houses. I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, so welcome to another music and movement session with us. I'm Rosa, and myself and Louisa will be leading the movements for you, and Nia's again played some beautiful music for us for our exercises. So before we'll get into our day in London, let's check our postures and get our bodies moving. We'll do a gentle warm-up. So if you're okay, sitting in the front part of your chair so that you can find that length through your spine, again using the core to support that length so we can sit nice and tall, and have a little look at your feet. And we don't want the feet to be under the chair there, but placing your heels so that they are under your knees and your toes pointing forward, and just finding that length here, sitting nice and tall. Good. Let's ease the arms to the side, and we'll just take a few rolls for our shoulders. And back, so squeezing up and gently rolling back. Good, let's take one more like that. Easing down. Nice. And then let's just turn our head over to one side, bringing it back, keeping that lift through your midline, looking over the other side, and then coming back. I was going to have a little squeeze for the toes, and then spread them down. Again, have a little squeeze, waking up the feet, rooting down. And then just a few times, lifting up your heels and your toes, walking through heels up, and then toes up, heels up, and toes up. Good, and planting the feet down. Let's just spread the fingers and squeeze a few rounds. Spreading and squeezing, waking up the fingers and the hands. Let's take one more. Good, and have a little shake. Nice, and we're just gonna have a big stretch and yawn. Can even make a sound here. Oh, stretching and release. Good. So our first little warm-up exercise takes us to Hyde Park, and it's a really early morning. Maybe it's even during the lockdown London, so it's very quiet, but it's a nice, sunny, warm, early morning. Okay, so we're by the water. It's lovely and clean, and we're gonna go for a swim. We're just gonna feel the grass with our feet first. We're gonna lift up our heels, lift up our toes, lift up our heels, and lift up our toes. Thinking about that you're really walking your feet through that grass. We're gonna test the water. We're gonna step one foot into the water forward, and the other one, it's quite nice, taking the feet back. And we're just gonna check whether we can see anybody else coming. We don't really want anybody else to come. We're gonna have a look. Oh, we can't see anyone coming back. And we'll test the water again. So we'll step forward and then back. And then we'll have a little twist to look over the other shoulder just to see if there's anybody coming there. There isn't. So we're ready to go for our swim. So we're gonna take a big reach, like we're diving into the water, reaching the arms up, and then we'll bring the palms together and down, and then we'll go into one breaststroke here, reaching forward and really feeling you push the water away with your arms. And we're gonna do that again, big reach up, we'll go for a swim. And we'll take the hands down, and then we're gonna curve forward for that swim, push back with your arms. It's lovely. And then we're just gonna reach one arm to the side, and you can hold the side of the chair, just feeling like your sit bones are firmly on the chair there. Reaching up and over, almost like you can feel that lovely sunshine warming, and then reaching down, and we'll take that to the other side. Reach the other arm up, and up and over, and then we'll come all the way back. Lovely. We're just going to do that with some lovely music that Nia's played for us. We're going to start straight with the music. Sitting nice and tall. Here we go, lifting the heels, toes, heels, toes. Testing the water, forward. And looking, and again test the water, and twisting, look over the shoulder. Here we go, swim, reaching up, and swim forward, again, up. Reach, lengthen, and the other way, almost like you would paint that rainbow over. Lovely. We're just going to do that once more with the music. Feeling the grass, your feet, test the water, twisting, and test the water, and twist, and big reach up. Swim, again, swim, reaching side, really lengthen, the other side.
So for this next exercise, we are going to be thinking about all those gorgeous cafes across London. So just thinking about open, beautiful spaces with blinds floating in the wind and big chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. And that will be our inspiration for our next exercise. So we are going to begin with our feet in parallel position. And with that thought of blinds floating in the wind, let's think about that to begin with. So we're going to float one arm forward and our leg extends as we do this. So floating one arm and bringing that back in. And floating the other arm out and bringing that back in. And then we're going to open the doors to our cafe by reaching forward, tummy button pressing towards the back of the chair, arms reaching forward. And then we're going to press and find that length in our spine as we open those doors, floating your arms down. Now from here, we're going to call everybody in. We've just opened our cafe, so we're going to call people in by scooping our arm towards us. And whilst we do that, our leg is going to scoop up and down. So we do that together with arm and leg scoop, and the other side scoop. Good. And then we're going to lift up into fifth position. Open our arms out and imagine we're welcoming everybody into our cafe. So looking from side to side and dropping your hands down. So from here, you're imagining you're in the kitchen making those drinks that people are ordering. So you're going to take a cup in one hand, we're going to stamp and put our cup out, and that stamp can be slightly out to the side, but if you prefer it can stay on the spot. So we can stamp with one cup, and then our other hand is going to stamp, and in this hand we've got a tea or coffee in this container. And then we're going to pour that into the cup and close everything together with a clap and jump your feet back into parallel position. And this clap is saying service. We want someone to come, our drinks are ready to be served. And we do that all again on the other leg. So we're using the other leg first, this time with our cup, and then our coffee or our tea, pouring that in and service together. And now we've got somebody coming along with a tray to take this out. So we're going to do a rond de jambe with our leg, which is the circling of our leg around. And with that, we're going to do a circle with our arm. Our palm is facing up, and we're going to end up with our arm out to the side. So we do that together with our leg and arm, circling around. We've got a little bit of time here, so enjoying that, taking that movement quite slowly, finishing with one arm out to the side. And again with the other leg, reaching around and bringing your feet back to parallel. Now from here, we are going to walk to our table to serve that tea and coffee. So we're going to lift up our leg and then put our toes down and then our heel. A toe and heel. And then you're going to serve with one hand coming forwards. We're twisting in our spine here, serving and reaching forwards and coming back. And now we're going to walk again, but this time our heel goes down first. So you're lifting your leg up, heel and toe, and serving the other tray forwards, twisting in the spine and coming back to center. And you can drop your arms down there. So the next section we will do, we're thinking about kneading the dough to make the bread for all those gorgeous little sandwiches that you get on those lovely trays of scones and sandwiches and all sorts of lovely things. So we are going to press our hands forward. Imagine that we've got this big bit of dough around us, and we're pressing it, we're kneading it with our heels of our hands. So we're pressing forward, and as you do that, your tummy button comes to the back of the chair again, as your hands come back in, feeling that length through your spine, and we'll go to the side and back and to the front again with the heels of your hands pressing, and in other side, pressing, and in last time to the front, pressing, and in, and then we're watching that dough proof, so it's rising. We're going to do a good, and then a bit of a sprinkle of some flour. So reaching one hand on, holding onto the side of the chair with one hand, and sprinkling some flour over the top of that dough with the other hand. And then we're going back to the beginning, okay? So we are floating one hand forward, with our blinds floating in the wind, our leg is extending as well, one hand, and the other hand, and reaching to open those doors and pressing, calling people in and in, reaching up to fifth position, opening out, welcoming everybody and down, making our coffee or our tea, step and pour together, and step, and pour together. Lastly, getting our tray by doing our rond de jambe around, arm is following, palm facing the ceiling, and the other side, reaching, sitting up nice and tall, and we will finish with a clap. Okay, let's give this a little bit of a go with some music. It is a little bit faster when we do our step, but let's see how we get on. Here we go, we've got our reach with our blinds, floating and floating, opening the door, we're reaching forwards and pressing, gathering people in, again, and lifting up, welcoming, drop with one hand, a pour, together 4, together, rond de jambe around, other arm, good. Now we've got our toe, heel, and serve, coming back, heel, toe, and serve, up, drop, kneading the dough, to the side, to the middle, other side, and back, watching it rise, and sprinkle that flour, good, back to the beginning, float, and float, opening that door, and press, gathering people in, lifting up to reach, and welcoming, drop, 1, 2, and 4, service, 1, 2, 4, service, rond de jambe, other side, and rond de jambe. Good. Okay, so we are going to do that one more time through without me speaking this time, so you can really enjoy dancing to the music. But I want you to think about, as we're moving through this exercise this time, the moments where you can look at your hand whilst we're doing the movement. So finding that those moments where you can change your focus from being out straight in front of you to looking out to the side or at your hands. So specifically those times where we're coming out of our 5th position and welcoming people, really using your focus. And those times where we've got our cups and we're pouring one into the other, really looking at what you're doing before coming back to the centre with your focus. So let's give this a go just with the music. Sitting up nice and tall.
So we're having our lovely day out in London and we've spent the morning seeing the sights, we've seen the tower and we've seen the queue at Madame Tussauds and given up, not gone there. And now we've got another afternoon ahead of looking around London. So we've had a great time, but it's quite tiring. So we're going to start with taking a big deep breath in through the nose and a big sigh of contentment because you've enjoyed yourself so much. So breath in through the nose. And I want to hear that sigh of contentment coming through the screen at me. That's lovely. And it's so tiring sightseeing. So we're now going to have our big stretch and yawn, and let's not be polite about it. The biggest yawn you can give me. So big stretch and oh, fantastic. Okay, so for the afternoon's delights, we're now going to head south of the river to see another part of London. So off we go, and we're going past the newspaper seller who's selling the Evening Standard. So let me hear your best newspaper seller. Evening Standard. And we're going to get onto the tube. And off we go on the tube to our stop. The door's open. And I want to hear your best mind the gap. All through the nose at the top there. Mind the gap. Excellent. And we're heading for Lambeth. So I'm sure you can guess what song we're going to sing as we head for Lambeth. And just in case you don't know the words, I'm going to sing a line and then I'm going to trust you to sing it back. So I'll be doing it twice. Second time, you sing with me. Then we'll go through the whole thing together. Okay, right, so line 1. If you go down Lambeth Way, if you go down Lambeth Way, any evening, any day, any evening, any day, you'll find a soul, you'll find a soul, you know the next bit, doing the Lambeth walk, oi, doing the Lambeth walk, oi, and I want this oi to reverberate through the streets so that I can hear it, so that it's shaking the walls of my house. Okay, next line is, every little Lambeth gal, your turn. Every little Lambeth gal, with her little Lambeth pal, with her little Lambeth pal, you'll find them all, you'll find them all together now, doing the Lambeth walk, oi, doing the Lambeth walk, oi, middle section. Everything's free and easy, your turn. Everything's free and easy. Do as you done well pleasy. Do as you done well pleasy. Why don't you make your way there? Why don't you make your way there? Go there, stay there. Go there, stay there. Excellent, and into the last section now. Okay. Once you get down Lambeth Way, once you get down Lambeth Way, any evening, any day, any evening, any day, you'll find a soul, your turn, you'll find a soul, everybody, doing the Lambeth walk, oi! Right, so everyone now, we're going to do it all together, loud as you like. Nobody's listening. Really let go and enjoy yourself. Are we ready? Da-dun, da-dun, dun, da. Go! Once you go down Lambeth Way, any evening, any day, you'll find them all doing the Lambeth walk. Oi! Every little Lambeth gal, with her little Lambeth pal, you'll find them all doing the Lambeth walk. Oi! Everything's free and easy. Do as you done well pleasy. Why don't you make your way there? Go there, stay there. Once you get down Lambeth Way, every evening, any day, you'll find a soul doing the Lambeth walk. Oi! Absolutely magnificent. I can hear you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so this next exercise takes us for that Lambeth walk that we've just done with Nia in our vocals. So sitting nice and tall, check your heels haven't traveled under the chair. So we're gonna start by just taking 4 steps. So changing the legs, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, but you're gonna take that into a little shape. So 1 foot stepping forward, and if you're okay, you can step it slightly across so that the feet are sort of in line. So we're gonna go 1, slightly to the side 2, then step that front foot back 3, and then 4. So we're gonna go forward 1, to the side 2, 3, 4, and it's quite slow. So we're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4. Once more, step, side, good. Then that foot that has just stepped in comes into a diagonal, slightly flexing the foot, and we're going to take that, lifting up, root down through the sit bones, a little lean towards the leg, and then we're going to take our jazzy arms here. Ta-da! And then we'll bring the leg back. So we'll go across 1, side 2, 3, 4. We go to the side and in. And then here comes our rhythm. So you can just clap. Pat, clap, and we're going to go oi. Or you can go oi. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clap, oi. So let's do that again. So it's da 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 da. Clap, oi. Again. Da 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 da. Clap, oi. Or you can just do da 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 da. Oi. Okay. Then we'll take that to the other side. So if you remember which way you went, so we're going to take the other foot across first. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll only do that once. Then that flexing the foot, jazzy hands, leaning slightly to the leg, bringing it back, and then we'll do again our rhythm. Either da 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 da, oi, or we go da 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 da, oi. Let's do that once more. Da 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 da, oi. That's our first part, and we're going to take some arms with that. So as we walk, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, quite slowly. Jazzy hands and da 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 da, oi. And then to the other side, da da. Across, we walk with our hands. Jazzy hands reach. Da 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 da, clap, oi. Good. Then, with a bit of a bounce in your heels, we're gonna reach, spread the fingers, a bit like your jazzy fingers here. We're gonna lean to one side, but root down to the sit bones so you don't fall over here. We're gonna go to the side and back. And then we're gonna do 2, either heels to the floor, or we're gonna go kick into the air. And as you do that, we're going to go opposite arm forward, kick and kick. That's a bit faster than the first part. So we're going to go side and in and kick or to the floor. Then we'll take that to the other side. So we're going to go heel bounces, side and back. And then we'll kick the other leg and opposite arm forward. So these are our 2 sequences and bits, movements that we repeat. Then once we've done that, we're going to go once the first part, only one side, and it doesn't really matter which way you go. So 1 foot steps forward, so we're going to go step with the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do, do. The rhythm. Da 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 da. Oi. Only once, and then we go back into our arms. In. Kick heel. Heel to the other side and heel, heel, and then we'll go once more the first part. So if you remember which side you did, you can do the other one. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, jazzy with the heel, and then we go da 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 da, oi, to finish. And the last part you can always do da 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 da, oi. We're going to try that with some music. We'll do it twice through, have a little pause in the middle. So we start with our legs across, heel and the rhythm to the other side, reach heel, da 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 da, oi. Then we're going to go side, heel, heel, and we're going to go to the other side. And we'll go heel, you can kick into the air or on the floor. Then we go one round of our walk and da-da, da-da, da, ha. And then we go back into the heels and kicks, heels to the side, kick, and then we'll go one last time. The first walk bit, side and the rhythm to finish. Lovely. Let's do that with some music that Nia's played for us. Here we go. Slowly. Heel. Here we go. Da, 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 da. The other side. Walk. Heel reach. We're going to do that once more with the music, and maybe so that I'm not saying anything, so just follow me. Very good. Let's just, before we'll stand up, we're just gonna have a little ease, releasing the arms to the side, just rolling the shoulders again up and ease them down. Again, releasing down. Let's reach one arm to the side, just come into a gentle reach to the side, lengthening and releasing back. And the other side, reaching up and over. And coming back. Good. And then let's just push through the feet, lifting your heels and toes. Getting ready to stand up if you'd like to stand up. So planting your feet down and again taking your heels slightly further back. Push through the legs, nose over knees, and push up. And then just have a little check that you feel stable. Maybe lift up the feet, heels, pedal. And then when you're ready, we're gonna come behind your chair. So just take your time to set that. If you'd like to stay seated, we will do the plie exercise seated and standing, so you can do the variation that feels good for you.
Okay, we are going to come to our plie now. So if you are standing, finding a chair or a kitchen counter or something that you can use to place your hands on throughout the plie. And if you're seated, making sure your feet are in parallel position, sitting up nice and tall. I will be showing what the seated are doing and what the standing are doing. So as I explain the exercise, I'll switch between. But once the music is playing, there'll be two of me on the screen, so you can choose which version of me to follow, depending whether you are seated or standing. And this plie exercise, we're going to be thinking about all of those performers across London, and imagining in particular that we are a dancer and we are warming up for our performance later on this evening on stage. And I really want you to think about not only projecting forwards and out of your body and your face, but also thinking about your back body as well, and really feeling like you're projecting through the back space as well as the front space. So we are going to begin either in parallel position or a very gentle first position for those of us that are standing. So we're standing up nice and tall, our hands are resting on the bar, so we're not pressing too much weight into our hands, they're just there to support us if we need to. And we're going to reach one arm all the way up to the ceiling. And if you're happy to do so, reaching the other arm all the way up to the ceiling. Bringing them down into first position, really feeling like your abdominals are really strong here and holding you nice and tall. And floating your arms down to the chair. So that is our introduction, and then we are going to take 2 gentle pliés for those of us that are standing. So we plie down and a stretch, and keeping everything nicely in line, stretch. And then we're going to tendu one leg forwards if you've got room in front of you. If you don't have room, tendu out to the side. So we tendu forwards, come in, and then we're all tendu to the side, bring that in. From there we're tenduing behind and hold. So we've got 2 counts for this tendu. Then you rond de jambe round for 2, out to a diagonal, so your foot comes out to a diagonal here, not in front of you. And then we're going to drag that foot back to our first position. So if you've got squeaky shoes on, really try and make some noise as that foot comes back into your first position or your parallel position. And then we'll take another gentle plie, stretch and rise for 2. 1, 2, lower for 2. We repeat that all again on the other side. So we've got plie and stretch, plie and stretch. Tendu forwards and into the side and into the back, and hold rond de jambe round on a diagonal. Drag that foot in plie 1, stretch and rise for 2, lower down for 2. And if you're seated, we, as I said, have got our feet in parallel position, and we're doing that same port de bras with our arms that standing did, so lifting one up to 5th position on the introduction, and the other arm up, and bringing them down into first position and placing our hands on our thighs. And while standing or doing their pliés, we are going to work through our spine. So we're going to press that tummy button to the back of the chair, and then lengthen through our spine. And then we've got 2 tendus forward, tendu in and out, and in and out and in. And then we've got a tendu out to the side. 1, hold it, 2, rond de jambe round for 2, drag that foot in. And then we're going to find a moment to lift through our spine while standing or plieing before we rise for 2 with our heels and lower for 2. And we repeat that all on the other side, so pressing your tummy button to the back of the chair and lengthening, tendu forward and back, tendu forward and back, tendu to the side, hold, rond de jambe around and drag that foot back in, and lifting through the spine we rise for 2 with our heels lower for 2. So from there, standing, we've just done our pliés twice through, either in our first position or our parallel. We're then going to point one foot out to the side and take a gentle swing. And seated, swinging your arms too. So we've got 16 counts here, but on the last couple of counts we're going to come back to find our chair, and seated, gently resting your arms back down on your thighs and coming back either to our parallel position or our first position. Standing up nice and tall, and we're going to come out into a second position now. So you're reaching, tonduing one foot out to the side and then bringing that foot in slightly as you lower that leg down so that you've got enough room to tondu out to the other side, drawing that leg in slightly, and you end up in a comfortable second position. So you can rearrange slightly if you need to so that you're comfortable and stable here. And then we're going to take that port de bras with our arms again, so reaching up and up, thinking about your back space here as your shoulder blades press down and resting your hands on the chair. And then we've got a longer plie here, so we're taking 2 counts to press down and 2 counts to come up. So we plie 1, 2, pressing the floor away for 2, again, plie for 2, pressing the floor away, reaching one arm out to the side, lifting it up and over and coming back, finding the chair and plie 1, 2, lifting up for 2 again, plie for 2, lifting up for 2, reaching the other hand this time, scooping up and over and bringing that arm back down, finding the chair. We're then going to close our feet into first position or parallel position, so reaching one leg back in and pointing the foot, reaching the other leg back in, standing up really nice and tall here. We're going to bring our arms out into first position to finish and reaching into our third arabesque. So our back arm is slightly higher than our front arm, and if you like you can do a little bit of a float with the fingers here. And if you're seated, we've come back to our parallel position with our hands on our thighs after swinging our arms. And we are going to press one foot forward in a tondu and open out to the side slightly. Draw that foot in and place it down on the floor. And the same with the other leg, drawing a little bit of a circle, placing it out. So you're in a comfortable position with your legs slightly out to the side. And then we'll do the same as standing with that port de bras, lifting up and the other arm up, coming out into first, lowering our hands to our thighs. And while standing and plieing, we are going to take it in turns to lift each leg off the ground. So that can be a really little amount, or it can come up a little bit higher, whatever you feel comfortable with, but really feeling grounded through your seat bones and feeling strong in your abdominals as we do this. Lifting one leg up for 2, lower down for 2, other leg for 2, lower down for 2, holding one side of the chair and with the other arm scooping up, finding that side stretch and coming back, hands to thighs. Repeat that with the other leg leading first. For 2, lower down, for 2, lifting up, for 2, lower down, for 2, other hand scooping this time, so you're reaching up and over, finding that side stretch and coming out, hands coming back to our thighs. We'll bring our legs back into parallel position so you can kind of retrace that pathway we used to take our legs out, coming back, finding that nice tall spine. All together coming into that first position with our arms, and we'll finish by reaching into our third arabesque, back arm higher than our front arm, and a little float through your fingers if you'd like to finish. So we'll just give this a go with some music. Just to be aware, as soon as the music starts, we're lifting that first arm up, okay? So that's part of our introduction, is our port de bras. And just finding your feet, whether you're in first position or parallel position standing, and finding your feet in parallel position seated, everybody standing up nice and tall. Here we go. And floating your arms down, taking 2 plies. And plie. Stretching one leg forwards. And in, to the side, and in, behind, holding, stretching it around, drawing that leg in, taking a plie, and a rise for 2, 1, 2, lower down, 3, 4, plie down, undo forwards and into the side. Now behind and hold rond de jambe around, drawing in. Plie down and up, rising 1, 2, lower 3, 4, and a swing. And coming back, finding your chair, finding your feet in position, reaching one foot out, drawing it in slightly, lowering the heel, other side. Lowering the heel, finding a comfortable second position, reaching one arm up, and the other arm, and down. And finding the chair, we've got a plie for 2, squeezing up, again. 2, lowering up. Good, and reaching one arm up and over, and back. Plie down for 2, squeezing up, and plie. Squeeze, reaching the arm, and back, and pointing your feet back into your starting position. Finding that first and third, and floating the arms down to finish.
So we're going to do one more exercise standing, or you can stay seated if you like. We're just going to do very simple marching before we'll start cooling down. So we're going to just find a march, so with the music that Nia's played for us. And we're just going to go through the arms that we're going to do with the marching. So the legs are just going to keep going. So we're going to go one arm forward, the other arm forward. We're going to bring the hand to the shoulder and then across to the shoulder. Then the top arm, we're going to reach up, and then we're just going to do a little swing side to side as we bring the arms down. So we're going to go forward, forward, cross, cross, arm up, the other arm up, and then sway down. Good. And you can do exactly the same arms seated, so we'll have a little film variation for you as well, so you can follow either seated or standing. Okay, let's do this with some music. Here we go. And we add the arms slowly forward and forward, in, then we'll go up and swing down. Once more this tempo. Arms up, and then we'll go a bit faster. Here we go. Cross, cross, up, and sway again. And down once more, I think. And we'll march to the end. Great, very good, fantastic. So we're going to come back down into our chairs and then get ready for our cool down. So just coming again into the front of the chair so that you can feel the chair, back of the chair with the back of the legs there, toes pointing forward, and then sticking your bum out slowly with control. If you need to hold the chair, we're gonna sit down. Great, and just place the feet back under the knees. You may want to have a little shift forward to find that comfortable place.
Okay, now we're back down in our chairs. We're just going to take a little bit of a cool down to finish the class today. And since we are thinking about London, I thought And for the cool down, we can have a mental image of the Thames, and in particular the Thames barrier, which can be found near Woolwich in London, and it helps to control the level of water that runs through the Thames, and because London is so low, it stops it from getting flooded. So there's these big kind of gates on the Thames barrier that close off water as it pushes and rises from the sea. And then they open up and let water come in when it's safe to do so. So we'll think about that kind of opening of a gate and water pressing and building up, and then being able to flow free as we cool down today. And Nia will be playing some lovely, lovely music as well. So just enjoy this, feeling like it's a moment for your body to just relax and unwind. So we'll begin bringing our arms up and opening, and imagine we're closing that gate, and again, and the other side, closing the gate, and now pressing, water building up against this gate, and again pressing a little bit higher, and really pressing up. This time water's really, really building. Now let's press out to the side, press with a heel if you want, and in, other side, pressing, and we're ready to let a bit of water in, so let's open that gate, and open another one. Starting to flow in, and again, other arm leading, last time, and let it float, and reaching, and again reaching, and let's lift up. Taking a bow. Thank you everybody for coming along and dancing with us today as we explored the theme of London. I hope you had a lovely, lovely time, and we really hope to see you again soon and wish you a lovely, lovely day. Thank you.